may write me down in history with your bitter twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise.
What is that? Fly. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Brandon. I'm a guy who flies for a U.S. carrier. I am Miami-based. I am back in base. It is the month of August, and I am back on reserve. For my OGs on the channel, my frequent flyers, you all will remember my days in Philly. The last time I was on reserve was actually in April. Today is actually my very first reserve, on-call day of the month, because I took the first 10 days off. I had recurrent, and then I went on my trip to Cancun. So I just got back from that, and I'm just kind of piecing myself back together. But I go on call today at 11 a.m. But anyway, I wanted to come and sit down and just, provide a really comprehensive update on the state of aviation, what's happening with my life. There's a lot of stuff floating around right now, what is going to happen. So for those of you who have picked up on the type of person that I am, first of all, I'm a Capricorn. I'm about my money. I'm industrious. For those of you who watch my me videos or can pick up on it from just my regular vlogs, I am a paper to pencil, let's make a plan. I've sort of kind of thought through all of this well in advance, but I'm just now coming to you all to share where I am and what I plan to do moving forward. I'm going to be reading you all some stuff from my computer and from my phone, but I also have a whole whiteboard that I'm just going to put up to show you a visual of what I'm trying to explain. It's the teacher in me, so I'm going to say it to you and I'm going to show it to you. As you all know, well, if you didn't know, the actual coronavirus that became named as COVID-19 basically started back in December of 2019. But December, January, February was just kind of like a mystery. We were looking at it as any other flu that we've seen in the past. We've had a number of outbreaks like this, and so this wasn't the first, and I doubt it'll be the last. March is when hit the fan. Everything got crazy. Flight attendants, we were all on trip. Next thing you know, the country was basically shutting down city by city, state by state. Places were closing, flights were canceling, flight attendants were stuck. There was this mad dash of the schedule was getting nixed. That's when I had that 41-hour layover in Atlanta because my company needed me to work there. And then I was just kind of stuck until they could get me back out of Atlanta to come back to Philly. Everyone had been full schedule for the month of April, but then everything started to close. And so basically everyone's schedules were wiped clean and everyone was almost pay protected for the whole month. I was on reserve and I sat couch maybe twice a month in April, and I flew maybe 2 turns. That's all the flying I did the whole month of April. So in March, that's when we basically had, March and April, that's when we basically had the CARES Act passed by the government, which included payroll support, which basically said that for airlines who chose to take this money and not furlough or lay off any employees, it would turn into a grant. Our airline took the money covered payroll support for basically up until September 30th, whatever the last day of September. So the airlines could not involuntarily lay off any people. Companies could offer voluntary leaves, which my company did. Some airlines, they jumped right on it and offered 1, 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 24-month leaves because they knew that the recovery from this would be really bad. Because my airline primarily focuses on leisure travel, that is a easier market because you're just dealing with people on the go all over the country all the time. We don't really service a lot of business travelers. We also don't rely heavily on international travel. We are a domestic carrier, so we do a lot of US, we do Mexico, we do Canada, we do the Caribbean. Our company was offering month-to-month leave. I did not take any leaves in any of these months because here I was no, I'll just stay. I was already in Philly. I was I'll just ride it out, see what happens. I transferred to Miami in May, June, and July. I had really good lines. I I worked like 85 hours in May. I did 115, I think, in June. And in July, I did 151 hours. Once they started reopening and we were moving and progressing in the phases, the cases started to spike. I'm based in Miami, which is in Florida, which is considered a hot zone for the pandemic. And so our flights had drastically got cut. In April, a lot of people, flight attendants, came back to work, which meant my nice seniority down in the 30s got bumped back up. I didn't get a lot. So that's why I'm back on reserve and all this. And then it got progressively worse because they drastically cut the number of lines by 2/3 for the month of September. So I decided in September to take a paid leave. So what I'm gonna do is I'll be off for the entire month of September. I will not fly, I will not be on reserve, I will not be on call, I will not have any flight. I'll get paid for 50 credit hours, but I will be on leave. I'll have the opportunity to collect unemployment. I did that for September because way back in, well, hello, son. Me always being like thousands of steps ahead, I predicted that this would get really bad. And when other airlines started releasing their projected numbers of how many of needing to furlough, I figured that it was coming our way. We, for a good bit of time, thought that we were very safe. Our company was very transparent with us. I can really appreciate that, about where we stood financially and how well we did in 2019 and what that revenue reserves looked like coming into 2020, and the fact that they also got the payroll money, and the fact that our airline was taking all of these multi-layered steps to ensure travelers were being safe. When flying with us, we didn't think that furloughs were coming our way, but then we hit the second wave, and it's just, people are not so sure about traveling right now, and that's totally understandable. Our company came to us in July and said that we need to reduce the number of flight attendants this fall by 925. That number came from 35%. When you're operating maximally, you're operating at 100%, okay? Our company basically came to us and said, we need to get rid of 35% of our pilots and flight attendants, which 100 minus 35, 65, which means our company is looking to operate at 65% of our operations starting October 1. October 1 is when? Right after the payroll support of the CARES Act ends. So that's when the company is now responsible for funding its entire operation solely, which it cannot do given the current market and the demand for air travel. I predicted that was going to happen, and so I just thought that we would get furloughed. Either they were going to offer an extended leave or that I was going to get furloughed, and who knows how long that could last. So I then began thinking, okay, Brandon, what else can we do? Bingo, we can go back to what we used to do. Prior to becoming a flight attendant, I was an elementary school educator for 6 years. I still have a teaching degree. Plan B, I'm reassured in that my family is super cool. My mom and stepdad are super cool with me coming back to live with them, because that's what I was kind of doing in the interim of like figuring out where I wanted to be based and before moving to Miami. I can go back home, I can be a teacher. Hence the reason why I took the month of September for paid leaves. Why? Because when do most schools go back? August and September. So if I wanted to roll into a teacher position, I would want to roll into it in September, and then I would get furloughed come October 1 and roll right into my furlough, and I would just teach an entire school year, or I would just teach until they called us to come back to work. Based on our contract that we have with the company, they have to give us 60 days written notice of the potential to get furloughed. So on July 31st, August 1st, we got our warn notices, which was 60 days notice that come October 1, we could get furloughed. So basically what that means is come October 1, I am in jeopardy of being furloughed. Why did I get this letter? Because like I told you, the company projected reducing its flight attendant workforce by 35%, which is 925 flight attendants. In aviation, everything works off of seniority. The longer you've been here, the better you gotta remember, my company is fairly young in comparison to other US carriers. So our senior flight attendants, meaning those who have been here the longest, are sitting in the high, like 20 plus years. Like they were hired in the 90s. Our most junior flight attendants, the ones that were most recently hired, were the ones that graduated in 2020, like March to be exact. So they're only a few months in. So on our spectrum of seniority, you have number one, the longest working flight attendant, hired in the 90s or something like that, 25 plus years, something like that. And then you have number 2,642, which is the very last person seniority-wise hired in 2020. Per the contract, furloughs happen in reverse seniority order. So last hired, first to go. Break up that 925, it goes up to number 1,771. That's the bottom 925. Those are the people who got the letters because they're in jeopardy of being furloughed. Where do I fall? I fall right here, number 2,283. I am 359 from the bottom, a little bit below the middle of this 925. So I'm dead smack in the you're going to get furloughed group. Okay. However, our contract also says that before our company can furlough anybody, they have to offer voluntary leave. So we have also gotten the options to take voluntary leave of 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months beginning October 1st. I have opted to take the voluntary leave for 6 months. Why? Because of my backup plan. I have the paid leave in September. I'm going to take the paid leave for 6 months to be able to go and get another job because I'll still have my flying benefits and my insurance. So yes, that is where I am. I'm going to submit that bid. That will be my bid for October, November, December, January, February, and March. So that'll be a long time without any bid with me videos. And I will find out if I get it on the 16th, which I'll be sure to let you all know so that you all can have an idea about what's to come. Obviously, that would mean I will be out for a total of 7 months without flying, which is weird to think that I would be volunteering to not be here. But you all, flying is so uncertain right now. Being based in Miami is also very uncertain. I have two choices.
I have the choice to take a leave and be part of the 925 and be gone. Or I have the choice of choosing to stay. If the company gets 900 plus people to take a leave, nobody gets furloughed. If the company only gets 300 people to take the leave, then that means still the bottom 600 have to get furloughed. And so if I choose to stay, I could say there's a potential that I will be on reserve for just the foreseeable future until things pick back up. That if I choose to stay, I could also end up in the group that got furloughed. And if I got furloughed, I get nothing. There's no pay, there's no benefits, there's no flight benefits, there's no health benefits, there's no nothing. You're just gone. At least I've taken the leave. I'm reassured that I will get something if I don't fall into the furlough group. Because there's a possibility that I could take the leave and still end up in the furlough group. It is a huge gamble because I could honestly, you all, just not take the leave and still end up here and fly maybe or sit around on reserve for the next umpteen months.
But I'm just going to stay. I'm just going to take the leave, use the month of August to make plans for what to do next. The resume is already updated. Right now, I'm trying to decide, do I want to stay in Miami and work out here in Florida because I also have my flight benefits and I can just fly wherever I want to go, whenever I want to go, or if I want to just pack back up, go back to Virginia, live rent-free with my parents, work back at home for these next 7 months. You know, all of those things are options, and I haven't necessarily decided what I'm going to do one way or another, but I will let you all know. I don't foresee getting called today. Today is day 2 of 3. So I'm going to call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was not used yesterday, probably not used today. Maybe I'll get used tomorrow. Who knows? I had a trip I had picked up on my day off on Thursday. It got canceled, so now I'm unavailable for reassignment. So I'll know by tomorrow at 5 o'clock if they put something on my schedule, and if not, I'll be off on Thursday, Friday. But yes, that is my version of a comprehensive overview of what has been happening in aviation and where I stand and what I plan to do. Just so you all know, I don't know when I'm going to put this video out. It won't require, maybe I'll put it out before. It might be out of sequence, but it's been well overdue. I meant to give it to you all like closest to earlier in August, but I was waiting to see what happened with the leave so I could just throw it all in this video and it'd be what it will be. Just know that if I am granted the extended leave, I will still be producing content on this channel. I might start a whole nother channel in regards to just my teaching journey and all of that. I don't know, I might plop it on here and people who are interested can watch, and maybe new people who aren't interested will come watch. And I don't know, it's all up in the air, but I will continue producing content because we are like almost 600, maybe close to 600. Oh, we are over 600. My gosh, we are 619 Fly Girls and Fly Guys strong. You know I am trying to get 1,000 frequent flyers on the channel by my anniversary of December. That's my 1 year YouTube anniversary. So I will continue producing content so you all can come back and see more of what I do. Be sure if you have not done so to hit that subscribe button so that you are following the channel. And then if you really want to get notified every time I post a new video, go ahead and hit that notification bell, ding ding ding, turn on all posts, and you will get notified every time I post a new video. I'm Brandon, I'm a guy who flies. Used to be a guy who flies. I'll see you all next time.